Good morning everyone. Welcome to mathematics session for class 12. Today in this session we will be talking about matrices. That is chapter 3 of your textbook. Today we will be discussing part 1, that means we will be discussing about introduction part and basic terms used in matrix. Now the first thing, let us introduce matrices and its uses. The concept of matrix was developed to obtain compact and simple method of solving system of linear equation. Now we know that in algebra we solve the equations. There are linear equation, quadratic equation and different type of equation. In that, matrix can be used to solve linear equation very easily. Now linear equation, as you know, that is a algebraic equation in which the highest degree of the variable is 1. That means if we can give an example as x plus y is equal to 12 or x plus y plus z is equal to c. So like that we can give different type of equation and we can solve those equation using matrix. We will see these things later on. Now matrix notation and operations are also used in electronic spreadsheet program for personal computers like MS Excel. Many physical operations such as magnification, rotation, reflection through the plane can be represented mathematically by matrix. That means these operations in computers are also used to represent different type of multimedia, develop multimedia expression. Like if we use a paintbrush to zoom a particular picture or coupe a particular picture or rotate a particular picture, this matrix notation can be used over there also. Next, matrices are used in cryptography. Now what is cryptography? Cryptography means encoding a particular message so that whenever it is sent to destination, nobody in between can interpret that particular message. Now it is very necessary in current scenario because there are many hackers. So we need to basically encode the message, and when it reaches the destination, the person at the destination decoded the message because they know the system of decoding. Now this mathematical tool, that means matrix, is not only in certain branch of science but it is used in many areas like economy, sociology, psychology, industrial management and so on. So let us see what a matrix is. Now let us see what matrix is. A matrix can be defined as an ordered rectangular array of numbers or function. The numbers or functions are called the element of the entries of matrix. Now here let me explain how it is that generally the matrix are denoted by capital letter. We can say element of matrix are arranged in row and column format inside a square bracket. Now here the things I told you, that matrix is an ordered rectangular array. Now ordered rectangular array means the element of the matrix are arranged in row and column format. Like we create a table, so in table we store all the data. So in the similar type of fashion the data in matrix is also arranged. Now let us see some examples. Here you can see 2 plus I, 3, 1 by 2, 5 minus 1, 5, 7, 7, 7. So this is arrangement of data in row and column format. You see that 2 minus 1, 5 and 7 are one column, 3 minus 1, 7 are another column, 1 by 2, 5 and 7 are third column. Similarly, if you go about the rows, 2 minus 1, 3 and half are rows, and similarly there are 3 rows here. We can see some more examples. So these are different examples of matrices that we can store. See, there can be matrix with single element also. That means there is only one. Suppose there is only one element 3. So that matrix can also exist. Now some example. In the example, the horizontal rise of elements are set to constitute rows of the matrix, and the vertical lines of elements are set to constitute column of matrix. Again, thus in the previous figure you can show A has 3 rows and 2 columns, B has got 3 rows and 3 columns, while C has got 2 rows and 3 columns. More example. Now let us see what are rows and what are columns with help of this example. See, you can see the circles. These all 3 pairs different are columns of the matrix. Similarly, these 3 pairs are rows of the matrix. Now the next thing, a term is used in matrix, that is order. Now what is the order? Let us see. The number of rows into number of columns is called the order of matrix. That means whenever we denote a particular matrix, we denote it number of rows multiplied by number of columns. Don't write the product, write the number of rows and multiply number of columns. We will explain you later. Example, if a matrix has m rows and n columns, then the order of matrix is called m into n, or simply m into n matrix read as m by n matrix. That is m by n matrix. That means the matrix has got m rows and n columns. I repeat, m into n matrix means the matrix has got m rows and n columns. So for referring to the previous example, if you go to the previous, you remember the previous example, you can say A has got 3 rows and 2 columns, B has got 3 rows and 3 columns, and C has got 2 rows and 3 columns. Now you can say A and C. See, A and C, if you multiply both the numbers, you get 6. That means product is always 6, but both matrix, order of both matrix are not same. That means 3 into 2 is totally different from 2 into 3, because here number of rows and number of columns both are varying. So we observe that A has 3 into 2, that means 6 element, B and C has 9 and 6 element respectively. How we are calculating the number of element? By multiplying the number of rows and number of columns of that particular matrix. That means whenever we represent the order of matrix, we always represent the order of matrix as multiplication sign. That means rows, number of rows multiplied by number of columns. And whenever we combine the result of this multiplication, then it becomes number of elements of that particular matrix. That means if the order is 3 by 2, then the number of element is 6. Now number of rows and number of columns called the order of matrix. In general form, the matrix can be written as, now see here, A11, here you can see A11, A12. Now A11, here this suffix, this is called suffix, or we can say subscript. This subscript, there are two numbers in that subscript. The first number shows the row number of that particular element, and the second number shows the column number of that element. So here A11 means the A is the element in the matrix at the position at row number 1 and column number 1. You can see here it is row number 1 and column number 1. Similarly, A12 is it at the row number 1 and column number 2 position. Similarly, you can see Aij, it is at the jth column of first row, and the last of the first row is A1n. That means if there are n rows, n columns in that matrix, then the first row's last element will be A1n. Similarly, you can go here and see AI1. That means this is the ith row and first column. Here you can say Aij, that means ith row and jth column. Similarly, the last element of the matrix will be AMN. This matrix can also be represented as A is equal to Aij, and the order of the matrix is written below the square bracket which is represented over here. So Aij means there are m into n elements, and each and every element can be replaced by replacing the value of I and j. And here we will have to see one more thing, that the value of I will vary between 1 and m. That means the lowest value of I will be 1 and the maximum value of I will be m. Similarly, the lowest value of j will be 1 and the highest value of j will be n. Again, one more thing, I and j belong to n. Now here n means natural number. That means I and j will be always an positive non-zero integer. Again I repeat, I and j will be positive non-zero integer. That is basically the natural number. So I and j cannot be 0, I and j cannot be negative, and I and j cannot be a fractional value. You can see again the general form. So later in the course your matrix will be represented in similar way. So you will have to keep this particular thing in mind. Let us repeat the thing again. General form, and this is all the general form. Next, thus the ith row consists of element I1, I2, I3, and the last element of that row of ith element is In, while the jth column consists of element 1j, 2j, 3j, mj. Okay, so here you can see this j means the column number is fixed. The column number is fixed, that is j, but the row number is varying from 1 to m. In general, Aij is an element lying in the ith row and jth column. That means whenever we are writing Aij, that means we are denoting an element of the matrix which is lying at ith row and jth column. We can also call it at I, jth element of A. I, jth column means the row number is I and column number is j. The number of element in an m into n matrix will be equal to m multiplied by n. That means if you have to calculate how many elements are there in a matrix, you can calculate the number of rows and number of columns in that particular matrix, and you will get the number of element in that particular matrix. So m multiplied by n, you will get the number of element. In general form of matrix, we can also represent any point on a plane xy as a matrix. Now we know that in coordinate geometry we use x and y coordinate points to represent a particular point. So x and y can also be in a plane can be represented. Like if A is a point, then A can be represented as you can see here in columnar format, and here you can say in row format. So in both the way we can represent. So this is the x coordinate and this is the y coordinate. You can see the example. For example, if P is equal to 0, 1 is a point in your coordinate, then you can write P is equal to 0, 1 or P is equal to 0, 1 like that. You can also represent a quadrilateral ABCD in the matrix form. You can see that the point A here, the point B 3, 2, the point C 1 and 3, and point D minus 1, 2. It is a 4 into 2 matrix. Again here it is row, the coordinates of the x point is given in row wise, and the columnar wise is coordinate of y. The first row consists of x coordinate, and the second row contains y value. Similarly, if we are storing in columnar format, the first column stores x value and the second column represent the y value of the points. So there are 4 points: 1 0, 3 2, 1 3, -1 and 2. Now if we have to calculate order of matrix, if number of elements is known. Now if suppose someone has given that I have got this much element and you have to arrange in matrix, so what will be the order of matrix? So if you want to convert a given number of element into matrix, there will be not a it is not necessary that there will be a single combination. There can be multiple combination of that particular element. I repeat, there can be, not necessary, but there can be more than one combination. So to find what are the different possibilities, what you will have to do, let's the total number of elements are n, then what you will do, find all the possible pairs whose product is n. That means we will find all the possible pair, that means we will find all the possible pair of two numbers, where when we multiply both the number we get the result n. They will be the order of matrix. Now they will be called the orders of matrix. Now let us take an example for that. Let total number of element are 20. So if we see the total possible combination, this is 1 into 20. That means if we multiply 1 by 20, we are getting 20. If we are using 2 into 10, that means multiply 2 into 10, we are getting 20. Again we will if we will use 4 into 5, we are getting 20. So there are three pairs which we will multiply to get 20. So but here we are getting only 3 possible pairs, but in fact if we will calculate the order will become 6. How? Let us see. Here 1 into 20, 2 into 20, 4 into 5. These are 3 pairs that we have found. Then we can write this one in reverse order also. That means 20 into 1, 10 into 2 and 20 into 1. Sorry, the last element here is written is 1 into 20, it will be 20 into 1. That means total 6 order. Now why I have written this one? Because 2 into 10 is not same as 10 into 2, because here the number of rows and number of columns are interchanged, and the number of rows, number of columns are not same, then both matrices, the order are different. So this thing you will have to keep in mind. Next, now let us come to the type of matrices. How many type of matrices are there? One by one we will see. One is column matrix. Now column matrix, a matrix is said to be column matrix if it has only one column. That means if the matrix has got only one column, then it is column matrix. Similarly, if there is only one row, the matrix will be called row matrix. A square matrix, if the number of rows and number of columns both are equal, then it is called a square matrix. So here the example I have given is 3 into 3, that means 3 rows and 3 columns. Similarly, there can be 2 into 2, 1 into 1, 5 into 5, 20 into 20 matrices. That means whenever you can find the order of matrices in which m and n both are equal, that particular matrix is said to be a square matrix. So one more thing we will come to see here, the diagonals. What are the diagonal of a matrix? If a matrix Aij is given and it is a square matrix, then the element A11, A22, A33, ANN are said to constitute a diagonal of the matrix. That means you can see the example how the diagonal matrix are calculated. That means if we are representing A is equal to Ij, then the diagonal of the matrix will constituted by the element Aij, where I is equal to j. That means where the I and the value of I and j are equal, they will constitute the diagonal of the matrix. Now this particular definition is important because later on we will see there are many definitions created with the by taking the basic of these diagonals. Here you can see the definition again. A square matrix B is equal to Bij, that is m into m. M into m. Why I have written m into m? Because the matrix is a square matrix. So I will not write m into n. Here I am written m into m because the number of rows and number of columns are same. So is said to be a diagonal matrix if all there is a diagonal matrix if all the diagonals of a matrix are non-zero and rest of the elements are zero. Let us see with the help of example. B is equal to 4. Now here you can see there is only one element, so the diagonal constituted by only one element, A11. So rest there are no elements, so there is no any things to think about non-zero elements. Now here in matrix B, if you see the elements 2, 5, 7 are non-zero, but other element, see you can see all the elements are zero except the diagonal ones. So if a matrix whose all the elements except the diagonal element are zero, it is called a diagonal matrix. Then a scalar matrix, again the scalar matrix definition based on diagonal matrix. A diagonal matrix is said to be a scalar matrix if its diagonal elements are equal. That means, as we see that all the elements except the diagonals are non-zero, and if all the elements are equal in the diagonal, it is said a scalar matrix. See the example. Now here see all the elements are zero, but the diagonals, each and every element of diagonal is same. That means 2, 2 and 2. It is not necessary it should be 2, it can be any value, but in any case all the values should be same. Now zero matrix. A matrix is said to be zero if all the elements of the matrix is zero. So whatever are the element of the matrix, if all the matrix are zero, all the values are zero, then it is called zero matrix. You can see the example. A is equal to single element 0 and B, that is 3 by 3 matrix, all the elements are 0. Now equality of the matrix. Now many times we will need to find out that if both the matrix are equal or not. So if we want to find out if both the matrices are equal or not, how we will find? Two matrices Aij and Bij are said to equal if they are of the same order, each element of A is equal to the corresponding element of B. That means Aij is equal to Bij for all I and j. So here you can see the example over here. The first pair, 3 is equal to 3, 5 is equal to 5, 7 is equal to 7, 0 is equal to 0, minus 2 is equal to minus 2, 9 is equal to 9. Now these both corresponding elements are same. But if you see in the second example, you can see all the order, since the order of both the matrices are same, but you can see in the first matrix the elements circled by red is different. So even if a single element is different, though both matrix will not be said to be equal. So two matrix can be equal if and only if they are of same order and the corresponding elements are equal. Now please note these examples, because in future classes you will require these examples, this definition, because if we will go to the arithmetics of the matrix, then there equality, non-equality will be required. So if you will know what is equality conditions, then you can easily solve the problem, else you will have to have some problem. Now, so today we have seen the definition of matrix, type of matrices and equality of matrices. Thank you for today's class.